quick. I just finished following a brother who I follow on Instagram, and my heart goes out because he was working really hard to try to get this black candidate into office, and Jeff Landry won by, you know, a landslide pretty much. He secured over half, like he was over 50%. And so now he's the governor of Louisiana, and he supports politics that could lead to people that's on death row who've been found innocent actually get in the chair. We living in some difficult times, and I felt the weight of the conversation. I felt the gravity. I saw people trying. I see how important it is. Some of us, our heart is in the right place, but we have to come to terms, with something is that we're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit more than some of us are willing to sacrifice, and that's this patriarchal mindset. Not saying that my brothers, my uncles, my fathers, my grandfathers, what I'm saying, shouldn't have some say so and shouldn't have a seat at the table and shouldn't be heard and shouldn't be important. But the mindset has to change of always having to take the lead. Like just because you protect, just because you provide doesn't mean that your word should trump everybody else's. And we've made a deity of we've made a deity of our brothers and our uncles and our fathers and our grandfathers because they protect and provide. And that is a part of that slave mindset, because during the slavery times, when those immigrant men got in that room and they forged that contract, which was the Constitution. They forged a contract in which they centered themselves and they deified themselves. And so moving away from electing leaders that resonate with anything that has to do with that model during slavery, when the men were making all the decisions and calling the shots, and it was validated because we were giving our reverence and our worship to just the masculine side of ourselves. See, worship is a vote. So first we have to correct our worship so that we can birth a generation of candidates that are worth our vote, that deserve our vote. So first we have to fix our worship. First we have to stop mixing church with state. We have to stop saying, oh, he's a good candidate because he's a good God-fearing man. Oh, because that's code for he down with the plantation. He down with business as usual. He ain't gonna make too big a, he ain't gonna ruffle too many feathers. He gonna be able to slide in. We don't need nobody who gonna slide in. We need everybody to be ready to shift this thing. It's time to shift it. And just because a person ain't falling on their knees praying to the way things were and worshiping the way things were when our ancestors was in bondage and slavery, just because we can't find a leader, or we're not choosing a leader that's still in that frame of mind, that is ready to represent for their people, but still at the same time, at the end of the day, they getting in line with this whole man first. Worship him, praise him, give him your energy. Because as I said again, worship is a vote. So first we have to separate church from state. We have to stop electing candidates because they're in line with the way things were, low key. They know how to ease in. It's time out for easing in. It's time out for sliding in. It's time out for we think they can make it through the cracks. They just a good enough. They they just a good enough example. They play nice enough. They dress up the way they need to dress. They know how to maneuver. They know how to get over on massa. No, them days is over. I ain't gonna. Y'all ain't ready to listen to me. You know, the electoral college vote gotta go. This we always think we gotta focus on things locally. You know, we gotta focus on things um and don't worry about, you hear people saying, don't worry about who the president, don't worry about that federal stuff. But federal trumps local. That's where the Constitution was created. All of this other stuff stems from that Constitution. You gotta correct the head, Washington D.C. That's where the root at. That's the root and the head. Like a potato, like a beet, something that grow underground and is protected. You gotta uproot that thing and put something different there. That's all I got. Love y'all. I'm about to go. This the candle. Past, present, and future. Ancestors who are here, ancestors who are coming, and ancestors who have come. Amen and woman. Let them know. It's gonna be an interesting season for Louisiana. What Silly said from The Color Purple, I think I was just gonna sit back and see what the wall's gonna look like. But you know what? As a black trans person who's been living with the nothingness for 20 years and been living in hoods and poverty from Atlanta to Louisiana to New York to Africa, child, I'm gonna be praying for everybody though. I'm gonna continue to light my candles and continue to send out, energy into the universe. Like I always say at the end of my videos when I blow out the candle, to prepare us. I don't even say for times that are to come anymore. I say for times that are now. Period.